We're at Studio C with the filmmaker and director of Walk With Me, Jesse Nesser. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Your film is opening tonight at Studio C, and I hear it's sold out.
I just found that out myself. We're really honored and looking forward to it.
So it must be, I was reading a little bit about it, it must be a pretty exciting story to tell. Tell me how you came upon doing a film on the trials of Damon J. Keith.
Sure. Well, I met Judge Keith a few years ago, almost 3 years ago to the day, today, and his book, Crusader for Justice, was coming out. I was brought on to film a 2-minute soundbite for the website to help promote the book.
Okay.
And I walk in there, I set the camera up, Judge Keith begins to tell one of his stories, and an hour later my tape runs out. I couldn't turn the camera off. I was really just hooked and fascinated, and once I read his book and got to know his story even more, I decided that I wanted to do a larger project on him.
And how does this, this is a documentary airing tonight, like we said, how does it differ putting together a documentary and the roles or the shoes that you have to fill to put something together like this in comparison to a major motion picture where there's a large number of people behind the scenes?
Well, you wear a lot more shoes,
yeah,
a lot more hats. No, you know, everything's kind of to scale. So we were fortunate. There are fantastic documentaries out there that have a quarter of the size crew that we had. We had a team of, during production, about 9 or 10 people, whereas other movies might have 3. So we were really fortunate to have a great team of filmmakers, some from Michigan and some from as far away as California to New York. We had a University of Michigan fresh graduate who literally, we hired her 2 days after graduation, working with a 71-year-old director of photography who was a retired National Geographic cinematographer. So you had a lot of different people working on the project for their own different reasons. The older generation remembered Judge Keith's ruling. The younger generation were hooked by his personality. Nobody was in it for the money, that's for sure. Although we were really, really fortunate to have a Ford Motor Company and DTE sort of pick up the project right from the start, and fundraising was the easiest part of this film, and usually for a documentary, that's one way that it differs from major studio productions. It's a lot harder to fund these kinds of projects.
And how did that come about? Were you directly involved with that?
Yeah, we had sort of looked at who had relationships with Judge Keith, who had given to his law center in Detroit before, who we knew in the city was really behind the initiatives of Judge Keith, and everyone pointed to Ford and DTE. So we thought those are two reputable companies to have, not just from a financial standpoint, but to have their names associated to the movie would give it that level of legitimacy that you're looking for when you're starting off a project.
Did you have to show them a level of legitimacy for them to fund the project?
Fortunately, we had Judge Keith
validate you putting the piece together?
Right. Yeah, we you know, and that's what got us through the door. It was Judge Keith's name and his endorsement. I'm sure they reached out to him and said, you know, do you know this guy who's coming in asking us for money? And to their credit, the only question that they asked was, how fast can you make this movie? And so in Detroit, in this area, I think the overwhelming sentiment is this movie's long overdue.
And what do you think was, or what could you describe as the biggest struggle in making this?
Probably the editing. You know, that took about 1.5 years because you know, trying to figure out how you fit over 90 years of history into a little over a 90-minute movie was really challenging. And you know, we went right into production. We didn't want to waste any time. He's 91 years old when we started the movie, so we thought, let's film everything we could. We'll figure out how to tell the story afterwards, so we inevitably shot way more than we needed. We had 90, 100 plus hours of footage, and so it took some time to figure out, okay, how do we tell this very dense, trying to tell the story of law cases. It can get pretty tedious and dense. We wanted to do it in an approachable, entertaining way.
Is there any awe-inspiring moments for you during this process?
Oh, sure, every day. Watching this 90-plus-year-old man lead the way. We took him back to different places that played a role in his life. His childhood home, his law school in Washington, D.C., the family farm in Virginia. So he traveled to a lot of places, and we said, should we have the wheelchair standing by? And he would laugh at us and go, "The wheelchair? Are you kidding?"
I bet those were some emotional moments for him, revisiting
Sure.
some of those places.
Right. We wanted him to tell these stories. Like he tells a story about his relationship with Rosa Parks while sitting on the Rosa Parks bus.
Oh, wow.
So we thought that would be a little more interesting than him telling it just sitting down in a studio.
If there's any would-be filmmakers out there who happen to be watching, what would be your strongest or your biggest piece of advice for them?
We're going to need to do a whole separate interview for that. Have a great crew. Delegate. Don't be afraid to let go of control. Budget. If you can find a way to save even $1 here, $1 there, those dollars add up. And write down every mistake that you make. My producers and I did that, where we have an ongoing spreadsheet. We write down the mistake that we made and how much that mistake cost us. And then at the end of this whole journey, when we have the movie sold somewhere, we'll tally up that total, and that'll teach you more than film school will.
Well, Jesse, I want to thank you so much. Congratulations
Thank you,
on
Deborah.
having a sold-out film tonight.
We're so excited.
Yeah.
And thank you to the East Lansing Film Festival for not only inviting us here, but setting up this opening night premiere. We're, showing this movie in Michigan is more meaningful than showing it in other places. There's something about Michigan audiences in this story, and you watch the movie, you'll find out why.
And so it is sold out. It's November 3rd. It's sold out tonight at Studio C, but there will be a second showing, and we'll have that information up for you so that you know how you can watch a second showing of this film that you and your crew created.
We're excited.
Well, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching.